Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though the nursing plot is starting to thicken. Is it plot or pot? I've always thought it was plot. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let's get to it.
You can live pretty well by yourself.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man CJ Kyles, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, this whole scandal, nursing scandal, fake nurses scandal, whatever you want to call it, Operation Nightingale, yesterday's price is not today's price, has been popping like hot fish grease within the nurse community. And it's getting even juicier. Now, as you know, they're looking for the nurses, the fake nurses with the fake diplomas and the fake licenses. They're coming. I mean, it's really nothing more that I can say other than that they're coming for you. But Georgia is starting to crack down, and not the way that I thought they would. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get into it, how about we just pay attention to the video?
Now to a Channel 2 Investigates exclusive. Georgia nurses with counterfeit degrees and yet on the job and caring for patients. Investigator has learned the Georgia Board of Nursing is asking 22 Georgia nurses to surrender their licenses. This after federal officials caught 3 Florida-based nursing schools selling bogus diplomas for thousands of dollars a pop. Justin with us now live tonight in downtown Atlanta. And it's just crazy that someone who maybe wasn't qualified, or put needles and otherwise into people, Justin.
Okay, so I'm sure you all are familiar with this point of the scandal. 3 Florida-based nursing schools have been caught selling fake diplomas, $15,000 a pop. But what got them caught, and this is the interesting part, let me go ahead and put this on my solo layout for this one. What got them caught, from what I'm hearing, is that the pass rate of these schools were so low. Now, the initial rumor was that a lot of these students were passing and going on to become nurses, but that's not the case. What actually was happening is that these pass rates of the students were so low for the school that it kind of alerted the Board of Nursing to these schools and what's going on. These people are passing the classes and everything like that, but they're not passing the boards. So that alerted them to a potential problem that they may be having. And this is how this whole thing got caught up in a rapture, if you will, because this definitely is a rapture. Let's continue with the video.
The FBI, they provided a list of 22 names to state investigators here, names of nurses practicing in Georgia they say had fake degrees. This is the letter sent by the Georgia Board of Nursing to 22 nurses practicing here in Georgia, alleging the school transcripts the nurses used to get their nursing license are, quote, fraudulent.
Okay, now let's go through this letter. Now, again, with this being said, I think they are being extremely generous, because from what I'm hearing is that they were allowing them to surrender their license without punishment. They would just have to surrender their license, and I'm sure they could never ever practice in the medical field again. Now, to me, in my opinion, that's getting off extremely light. Extremely light. Because although I'm not one of those nurses that was outraged, I understand the seriousness of this. And I do understand that what they did was morally wrong. It was morally wrong. I do get it. And when I say I'm not the one that's outraged, like, yeah, I understand what I went through in nursing school and everything like that. But again, I'm just not outraged, because it just was what it was. Now, were they wrong? 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Should they be prosecuted? Yeah, I do. Because when you think about it, if you were to find out that it was one of your relatives that they were practicing on, you'd be upset too, and you'd be ready to sue. And I get that point of view. And to me, that weighs more than, oh, well, they were just trying to get into the field, or they didn't have no other way, blah, 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 blah. No, what you still did was wrong. You didn't follow the rules. You didn't go through what everybody else went through. But again, I'm not sitting up here saying, like, I'm not doing all that. I'm just not outraged about it. But were they wrong? 100%. And I feel like they were getting off light when it came to this. So check this out. Let's go through this letter, if you will. So I guess somebody submitted their letter to the news or whoever got it. But it says that, "Dear Mrs. Such and Such, dear Miss Fake Nurse, the Georgia Board of Nursing received information that the transcripts submitted from MedLife Institute, West Palm Beach, Florida, to support your application for Georgia nursing license are fraudulent. After careful consideration, the board determined that you may voluntarily surrender your license in lieu of further action in this case, to include revocation. Please submit the attached voluntary surrender form to the Board of Nursing within 30 days of receipt of this letter. Please be advised that per OCGA, I'm not going to read all the numbers, practicing nursing under cover of any diploma, license, or record illegally or fraudulently obtained, signed, or issued is a criminal violation. If you have any questions or require additional information, please do not hesitate to contact the board office at 404-424-9966. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, to me, that is them getting off extremely light. Because from what I'm gathering, it's still up to the fault. It's still up to the board to decipher who's doing what, and who's doing and who's practicing and who's not. So from my guess, they're placing some of the fault on the board, which is why, and I guess it's a state by state thing. And again, I don't know if this is 100% the case, but I guess it's a state by state thing. So I guess some states are choosing rather to not go further with any legal action, and some are choosing to go as hard as they can with the legal action. I guess it's the states, it's their discretion, but I do believe that these people should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I would not want any nurse who is not really licensed to practice on my family member, my girl, my mother, my brother, my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with all that. But again, I know some people took my not being outraged as me not caring. It's not the fact that I don't care, but it's just the fact that I'm not finna sit up here on YouTube and just yell all day about it. I mean, it's just, no, I'm not going to do that. Yes, they were wrong. I'm going to keep saying they were wrong, and they should surrender their license. They shouldn't practice no more. They should be prosecuted. It is what it is. But, you know, that's how I feel about it. But let's continue.
Concerning an alarming.
Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger oversees the nursing board. Those 22 nurses were given 30 days to voluntarily surrender their nursing licenses. So far, none of them have done that.
Now y'all wilding now. Now they gave you a chance to walk off scot-free. They gave you a chance to walk off scot-free. And some of y'all are so arrogant that you're like, nah, I'm good. You're gonna have to catch me if you can. And that's crazy to me. Now, maybe they don't know. Maybe they are unaware, but I just I find it hard to believe that at this point in the game that they are unaware or ignorant to the fact that, hey, we know that you ain't real. You are a BBL nurse. You are a plastic nurse. You dig? You're not legit. I believe they know this now. At this point, they will have to. How could you not? How could you not know this? But let's continue.
Our job is to make sure that our people in Georgia, our patients, know that they have credentialed nurses that are practicing that.
The Georgia nurses allegedly among the thousands who paid $15,000 each for a bogus diploma from 3 South Florida nursing schools. The FBI and Justice Department announced the bust of the $100 million nationwide fraud ring last week. They call it Operation Nightingale. And say instead of going to class, the nurses bought degrees and transcripts.
In fact, the matter.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you believe that it was only 3 schools, then you're crazy. It's not only 3 schools. These are just the ones that they're letting you know of. But it wasn't 3 schools. I can almost guarantee you it wasn't 3 schools. And Listen, and here's the thing too. It's not new. This isn't new. This has been going on for decades. People who have been getting away with fake licenses, and not just in nursing, in all fields of study. There have been people who have gotten away with it for years that have retired. So like, this is nothing new, and it doesn't make it right, but it's not new. So that just goes to show you that, okay, there are some cracks in the armor from whoever is the safeguard of who's determining who can work where and who is certified and who is legit and who's not. So a lot more has to be brought up to the table, and I'm interested to see where this goes as far as, okay, what is it gonna take for us to qualify these nurses safely, ethically, and morally? I really think it's gonna be hell now to get a nursing license, especially within the next upcoming years. I think it's gonna be absolute hell, and they're gonna require so much as if they already didn't require enough already. So again, you 7,600 people that bought those diplomas, you made the block hot for not only the people that are coming in, you're making it hot for the current nurses too. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that nurses should not be held to a certain standard. They should, because you're dealing with people's lives at the end of the day. But again, they have just made the block hot for everybody involved, for the nurses, for the HR, for the board. So let's continue.
The nursing candidates had done no work for these diplomas.
We've confirmed 3 of those nurses with sham degrees worked at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. VA telling us, quote, within days of learning of this nationwide scheme, we removed 3 nurses from patient care at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. Their removal is very unfortunate, but patient safety is and must be our primary responsibility at VA.
He said the move is unfortunate. I wouldn't have said that. We got to get them. I would have said, yes, we've gladly got them the hell up out of here. My man said it's unfortunate. And he said it's unfortunate because now they're even shorter than they were before. I don't know if I would have said that to the press, but he said it's unfortunate. This is the state that we're in right now. This is the state that we are in as nurses and as people working in healthcare. But let's continue.
Secretary Raffensperger tells me the Georgia Nursing Board is now working with the FBI to get the evidence it needs to take action to revoke the licenses of any of the nurses who refuse to surrender them voluntarily.
That'll be put to an end very quickly.
Here's my thing. Why would you refuse to surrender though? Like now, so now not only did you play a dangerous game, is at this point it's like you're spitting in the face of authority now. Why would you not surrender? If it was me, I'd be like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna get prosecuted. I get it. Thank you. Here's my license. I'm out. Because what are you gonna do at this point if you haven't surrendered? I mean, are some of those maybe foreigners? Maybe they're gonna go back to their home country. Is that the plan? I don't know. But if they're giving you a chance, if the state of Georgia is giving you the chance to walk off scot-free, you dig what I'm saying, and maybe not work in healthcare anymore, that's better than jail time to me. I don't know, but why would you not surrender? Now you're being arrogant. That is pure and utter arrogance at this point. But I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Should they get off scot-free? Should they be sentenced to 20 years in prison? What should happen to these BBL plastic nurses up in the game right now? They've given them a chance to surrender and not be sent to prison, and I think that's being very generous. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments. My name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, and I'll let y'all in a minute. Peace.